And this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video 119. The last one, 118, we talked about the CAPTCHA, the reCAPTCHA. Remember that one? Which was version V2. And in this one, we're talking about V3. And reCAPTCHA V3 is like the current gold standard for professional sites because it provides the security of a CAPTCHA with the zero friction experience of a hot what is that, the honeypot. Instead of showing a puzzle, you know how you got those little puzzle things, it tracks users' behavior, mouse movements, what else is it? Typing speed, gives you a score of like 0.0, definitely a bot, to a 1.0, definitely human. So when I wanted to show you the HTML and the JavaScript, which is the client side, unlike the V, let's go there. Where did I put that? But I wanted to also mention, we will see. Let me move this up a bit. Let's see right here. There you go. All right. So what we're going to do is, remember the actual form. We created a form, right? And in the old form, now see this right here? This is the one we did when we did the V2. And we did the form a little different, right? We had a div. We used to, it said, this one says hidden, but the other one, it didn't have type hidden. It just had a input name and those kind of things like this with something else. And of course, it also had a div because you needed something like this. Div, you need to be surrounded by a div like this. Remember that? So in this case, let's get rid of that. We don't need that. What we did was I took the same line and instead of doing it like this, which is the old, this by the way is the comments, right? And it's also green. We did this. We call Google. This is the JavaScript in Google. That's the API. And then we're going to send in a, what is that? We call that a query string, and it's going to say render equals, and here is where you put it. Remember I told you I did it, but the actual key site number, I did it. I just didn't add it here because I didn't want people to see it, but I did it. And then the form comes up, right? This is the form, and of course just a simple input text name. You saw this already, right? And then we have an input type of hidden, and we say the name which gave it, reCAPTCHA underscore token. The ID is a reCAPTCHA underscore token because we need those IDs, this ID, and of course we need this one. It could be any name, but this is a good enough name, right? And then you submit the what is that? The form, you know, with the button. And what we did was also added the JavaScript. In JavaScript, what it does, it reads this. See this form right here? Name. This is what the get element by ID. This gets it, and then it asks for an event listener. That means it's waiting. See, when you hit the submit, it waits for it. Then once it hears it, it does the submit. Then it does the function. The function happens to be all this stuff here. And what it does, this one is only to hold the form, of course. And then, of course, you're going to do this is just a name dot ready function, which is a function with no name, right? And then you're going to execute. Now, see this says here, your site key is the same one that you put in here. In this case, the V3. Remember, we're doing V3 right here. Look, V3. So what happens is you put in your site key, you put it in here, and then you put it in here too. Let me see, where is it? Then you put it right in here. And then when the action is submit, it'll do these things. It'll find, remember this CAPTCHA token? That's what this is right here, CAPTCHA token. CAPTCHA token. Right, now we're doing this because we want to check things out first, right? So you add that the token to our hidden input, and then you know, it's good to have the JavaScript when you want to do sanitation evaluation, right? And this is just another way too. You could have, this is just a little bit, because right now we're only dealing with the CAPTCHA, right? This stuff right here. You see this right here? Oh, by the way, you see how it looks right there? Now, if you put your hand, when you put your cursor right onto it, you get a little thing. And it says protected by reCAPTCHA. And of course, you got your privacy and your terms, right? And you need to see this. When you're doing important like business forms, like really intricate type things, not the regular simple contact form. You don't need to do that, but it's okay to have it, right? Because remember, this information we got, let's see, not that. Remember how we had this here? Look, we had, oh, that's the success. Where's the screenshot? This is the screenshot for name hero. Look, it has it too. Name hero has it. I guess the screenshot would be this one. Okay, you go there, you get this info, you do this, you use the base, you put the domain, kind of looks like this, of course, like this, and you put in your domain name. You can even add another one if you want to add another domain name to use that same CAPTCHA, right? And then of course you get the success you set up. That's it. You don't have to look at it again. They give you they send you an email with the two messages, the what is it, the site key and the secret key. And then you take the site key, right, you put it in here, because now you're sending it to him. Your script is going to read it. It's going to render that site key. Now it has it set up, and now JavaScript has it set up here too, because it's going to do, once you hit the submit, you're going to see it, right? And once you hit submit, or is it, you're going to go to reCAPTCHA v3. As you notice, I kind of named it v3. And if you go to v3, it's going to see that it's post. Remember the deal with the post? The method is post, right? That means you're not going to see stuff. Let me move this down. You're not going to see stuff. Only going to, let me see. Okay, it's a little big. You see? You're not going to have like a question mark and a whole bunch of stuff equal to different things, right? Because it's not a query string, it's a post. That's why you have posts right here. Anyway, it checks for the post. Then it says, okay, remember that secret key that they send you? They send you the side key, but they also send you the secret key. This is where you put the secret key. And since it's PHP, nobody could see it. So you don't have to worry about that, right? So you put it in here. Now the variable, this variable $secret has this secret key. $token has the post of a CAPTCHA token, which is this one right here, right? And it's hidden, nobody sees it. And let me see. And then you this will verify your token. See, this is site verify. Now you're saying that this variable has this URL with the /site verify ready to go. Then you got your variable response. It's going to open it's going to get all that content from that website, this one right here, and it's going to check, what is the secret equal to the secret? Yes, which is this right here, this information. And of course the response will be the token. And then what happens is JSON decodes the thing because it's a JSON file, so that way it's readable, and then puts this response from it into here, into a variable, $results. Then of course $results, it has to, the actual object is equal to success, and the results equal to score of 0.5. Right, 0.5, because 0.0 is a bot. It says that, oh, that's a bot. And if you say, oh, to 1 and 1.0 to 1.0, that'll definitely be, I'm sorry, a bigger, definitely be human. But over here in this case, it's checking. Is it greater than or equal to this? No, I mean it is greater because of 1.0. So then it looks at that and says, oh, okay, so thank you very much. Send them this from now. In here, you could put all kinds of crap. You could go and put like hundreds of lines of code, or maybe you direct it to a file that has all those things that you want done. And if it fails, it's going to die, meaning fail. Remember, die is the same thing as exit. And it's going to say bot detected, your score was whatever score they gives you, or unknown, right? But it's going to work out because you have all that information already. So then what happens is you go here, and I showed you this already, right? Look, real good stuff. So you put Andy. I put Andy. I called. You can say whatever you want. It's just crap. And then when you hit the submit, you have to wait because now the verifier is going to take over and see what it is, if it's true or not. Boom, here it goes. Form processed successfully. This is what this is. In the real world, you could probably get one of those things that are real quick, like a little box, form process, but or pass the test or whatever it is that you want. But in reality, you're just gonna put a whole bunch of stuff here, because once you hit the submit and it passes the verification, then it says, hey, this guy's good. This guy's not a bot. Let's continue. And don't forget that you can also add the honeypot to this whole thing too, separate, even though this does that. I mean, it generates a token right from the form submission. That's what you do, right? And then of course you run the thing. Now the verification part, the PHP part, that's the server-side stuff. Remember, so JavaScript is the client-side, HTML is the client-side, CSS the client-side, and of course PHP and all these other languages, C, C++, Python, all that is server-side. Now on the server, it checks again the score that Google gives you when the token. Remember when you created that token, and that's what that. Now, remember I told you if it's lower than the 0.5, of course you know it's a bot. That's why it's a good idea to have that and the other thing too. It's just good stuff, good things. So why the V3? The V3 is the way to go because it's like the professional choice, right? It's in the invisible protection. There are no select the traffic light puzzle. Check the traffic light. Remember those stupid little things, right? The contextual security. You can set different, what is that, threshold? Like for newsletter, sign up. Maybe you want a 0.3 to be fine, or for a password reset, or you might want a demand for a 0.8, as long as it's greater or equal to 0.5. And then remember that traffic insights, the Google admin console, like when you go to the traffic, then I should have brought that up. You go to Google and then you check the traffic. So the Google admin console will show you like a distribution of your scores, and then helping you to spot when you're like under a coordinated bot attack. What else can we say? Oh yeah, and I guess the pro tip of this whole thing is that Google requires you to display a small notice if you hide the reCAPTCHA badge, which is this right here. You don't even have to hide it. Where is it? You don't have to hide this. Just leave it You leave it in the form so people can see it. They can just click on it, not click on it, but just put the mouse on it, opens up. Said that this is cool, you know what I mean? And that's about it. You can put that stuff in the footer if you want. Like this one here, it's like all the way down here. It's considered a footer, but you can keep it up there too, right by the form is underneath the form, like right over here somewhere, depending on the form, right? So again, the site is protected by the reCAPTCHA in the Google privacy policy and the terms of service. That's about it. I just told you I was gonna do that V3 the best way, right? V2 is cool. You gotta do the div. It's all right. And I didn't do it before. What I did was in this situation, I said to myself, okay, we did it, we got it, but I'm not gonna show you. I did the test and I know it's gonna work. That's why this works right now. Then I went and then I came here and of course took that out and just put your site map, and then for you to look at, and then that says your site key, and I also added where is it? This one, your site record. But I never saved it. Okay, I'm just doing this so I can show you, but in reality it's actually saved. Otherwise this wouldn't have worked, right? And that's about it. That's all I got to say. If you like what I did, just mixing honeypot, doing those little things, doing this, plus the evaluation. Now when I'm finished with a little bit of maybe one more thing to do with the form, it was supposed to be something else. I forgot what it was. Maybe it's nothing. Then I'll do I will do a whole thing like the actual website, the CSS part. We'll do the bot. We'll do the what is that? The honeypot. Then we'll do the checking of the bot with that stuff on. Then of course we're gonna do the regular stuff that we would normally do, the sanitation, the validation. I'll have all that for you, and then it will probably be the next video. And then that's it. We're done with that, and you can take that whole thing and what can I say? I'll put it in the description. You cut it up a bit, and then you can use that as your template. As we go along, maybe I'll do another video that I can add like three other, I don't know, like columns of something or whatever. And if I think of some other protecting thing, something that you would definitely need, I'll make a video with that. Otherwise, we're going to continue because I wanted to go back to the big old notation again, and just do one more time for refresher. And this time I'll put in more. I'll have some diagrams and stuff like that. And then after that, we're going to start the whole. And even that time when I do start the WordPress stuff, I want to do the WordPress stuff because it is PHP, and WordPress is fantastic. I will have to say that 24, maybe 25% of businesses use that site, uses WordPress. You can use it as the theme that they have now, or you can just build it from scratch. I'm going to show you how to build it from scratch, but I'm also going to show you how to use themes and stuff. And that's it. PHP will be good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a Python course. Python is great. I like PHP. Don't get me wrong. It's great. Dealing with the database, like deleting, and maybe we'll like we did before. Remember when I had the color border? That I had all kinds of stuff to show you. We'll probably maybe on the one coming up next or the other one after that, we'll show more stuff when I can add more to make it a more appealing website. But you will get the message, and you will understand how things work. And then I'll put the footer and maybe some few things, and that's about it, because we want to continue with the big O. It's very important. It's very important. And then that's it. Then after that, we're gonna do the WordPress. I think you're gonna love it. I hope that during the time that you have practiced your PHP, to the point that you could do, simple things. I mean, I showed you things, man. I told you I'm not going to hide any of this stuff. I want you to get it. I'm not going to charge extra money for, oh, look, you could use that. Because I just saw something today where they're giving me a thing, and I'm like, hey, give me the example. Hurry up, tell me. And then real quick, you're listening to the whole thing, and then 20 minutes later, it's like, okay, if you want more information, hit this link, and they're charging you. I'm like, what the? How could this be? And I don't want that. I want to give you and I could tell you names, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not that type of guy. There's people that are doing their thing, and there's people that build WordPress website and they don't even know how to code, but they're making money. So I think the way to go is we need the WordPress stuff. We need to learn it well because everybody going through that. A lot of times you could do the PHP from scratch type things, and a lot of times you're going to be, if you get into a job, they're going to have stuff already built up. You're going to end up fixing stuff or maybe adding stuff to it. You know what I mean? Because it's already been established, unless it was a brand new company and you're starting fresh to build that stuff. But I'm going to do that, right? And I'm going to show you how to use also other themes too that you can use. And you can change like child themes and stuff like that. You're going to love it. I'm telling you right now. Right now it's a little bit rough because I was sick, cancer, the whole thing, But I'm hoping that this will give you some more to look at. And you can say, oh, good, because that's what I like. I like when somebody shows me and stuff like that, gives me examples, because I like to play around with it, break it, and fix it, and find ways, and even find ways that say, wait a minute, I could have, like you talk to the screams, hey, you could have done this a little better. Blah, 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 because I figure out, that kind of thing. Anyway, in the description below, please add anything you want. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Until next time, a good night.